The US dollar index, which gauges the greenback against a bundle of its main competitors, extends the downside. Somewhat upbeat US economic data did not help much, and the sell-off in the US stock markets did little to drive investors into the safety of the greenback. DXY closed Friday's session flat, trying to win back its previous losses. For the week, however, it managed to post a 0.66% rise. Investors jumped back in the euro after the European Central Bank showed no apparent sign of stemming the single currency's appreciation. The euro to dollar pair was rising for 3 sessions in a row, closing at 1.1845 on Friday. It notched a 0.05% weekly gain, taking into account its losses earlier in the week. Still, the common currency faces an uphill battle in tackling the $1.20 barrier, with investors wary Eurozone policymakers may not want to see the currency strengthen much beyond that level. Meanwhile, fears that Britain will end its post-Brexit transition period with no trade agreements sent sterling to 5.5-month lows on Friday, overshadowing data showing the UK's economy recovering. London acknowledged that it could break international law by ignoring some parts of its European Union divorce treaty, prompting a rapid rebuke from the EU's chief executive. The British pound fell by 0.08% against the dollar on Friday to finish at 1.2793, its lowest since July 24th. For the week, cable lost 3.6%. This week, investors will exhibit some caution ahead of Wednesday's Federal Reserve's policy meeting. The Fed's story has undoubtedly been bearish for the dollar over the last months, with expectations of further monetary easing being a drag on the greenback. Some analysts say markets may have gone too far in expecting further Fed stimulus. The U.S. presidential election on November the 3rd presents another challenge to the view. It played a less meaningful role so far, but with the election just a few weeks away, it may soon move into the driver's seat. Elsewhere, in the crypto market, Bitcoin last week briefly jumped above $10,500, a critical resistance target that excited traders into booking their short-term profits. BTC spent most of the week in an uptrend, before falling by 1.21% on Sunday to $10,331. From previous Sunday's close, the Crypto King posted a 0.5% gain. Many analysts and investors believe high US inflation would push the Bitcoin price higher. Bitcoin's capped supply is one of its most well-known features, and it is regularly cited as a hedge against inflation. In commodities, oil prices suffered a second weekly fall on demand worries. November Brent, the global benchmark, fell by 0.6% on Friday to settle at $39.83 a barrel, for a weekly loss of 6.6%. Meanwhile, West Texas Intermediate crude for October delivery edged up by 0.08% to settle at $37.33 a barrel, with prices logging a decline of 6.1% for the week. And what about gold? Gold fell for the session on Friday, but edged up for the week. On Friday, December gold declined by 0.8% to settle at $1,947.90 an ounce, following a rise of 0.5% on Thursday. For the week, gold tallied a 0.7% gain. According to analysts, the precious metal remains supported by low to negative government bond yields, rising coronavirus cases in the US, and a tired US dollar. You've watched a combined review of financial markets on InstaTV with me, Anna Kasatkina. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep track of all the latest events together with us on InstaTV. Bye!